Junho Park stared out the viewport at the massive Nexus station. After 40 years of humans being trapped in their own solar system, he was finally here. The stars looked different from this part of the galaxy. "Diplomat Park, please follow me," said a blue-skinned attendant. "The tribunal begins in 1 hour." Junho straightened his formal jacket and nodded. His heart beat fast, but his face stayed calm. Today, he would fight for all of humanity. The halls of Nexus Station gleamed with materials not found on Earth. Aliens of many shapes and sizes moved about their business. Some glared at him with obvious hate. Humans were known as the warmongers here. "You shouldn't have come," a voice said from behind. Junho turned to see Han Sunwoo, the human who had chosen to live among aliens. Han wore the robes of the Galactic Alliance and had small implants in his temples. "Someone had to speak for Earth," Junho said. Han shook his head. "The evidence is clear. Humans attacked the peaceful Mokhtar first. I will testify to this truth." "Truth?" Junho raised an eyebrow. "Is that why I'm only given 30 days to prepare our defense, while the prosecution had 40 years? Before Han could answer, a deep voice boomed from speakers. "All parties for the Human Containment Review, report to Chamber 3. The tribunal chamber was huge, with seating for hundreds of alien representatives. In the center was a round platform where Junho now stood alone. Above him floated Grand Arbiter Solix, a being made of living crystal that shimmered with inner light. "This review of human containment statute begins now," Solix announced, voice echoing without needing speakers. "Prosecutor Nelvac will present the case for continued containment." The reptilian prosecutor stepped forward, scales gleaming under the lights. "Honored representatives, 40 years ago, human warships launched unprovoked attacks on Mokhtar scientific vessels. Their aggression is well documented and led to the deaths of thousands. The containment of this violent species has brought peace to our sectors." Junho watched the alien faces in the crowd. Most nodded in agreement. "Diplomat Park may now present the human defense," Solix said. Junho stepped forward. "Honored Arbiter, representatives of the Galactic Alliance, I request access to the complete records of the incident, including all sensor data and communications." Prosecutor Nelvac hissed. "The human questions evidence accepted 40 years ago. If the evidence is true, then showing it again should cause no concern," Junho replied calmly. A murmur ran through the chamber. Ambassador Idrisi, a shimmering form of pure energy, moved forward. "I second this request. Let us review all evidence for completeness." Junho kept his face neutral, but inside he felt a spark of hope. This was the opening he needed. Back in his assigned quarters, Junho met with his small team. "Did you find anything?" he asked. Jae-yun Choi, the Sino historian, looked up from her data tablet. "The official archives show first contact happening on stardate 2247-3, but I found trade records mentioning Mokhtar ships in our space 3 months earlier." Ta Wu Li nodded, his eyes red from hours studying data. "And I've analyzed the communication patterns. Someone edited the transmission logs. The timestamps don't match up." Dae Sun Kim, the old military commander, spoke from the corner where he sat. "I was there, at the battle they call our first strike. We were responding to a distress call from the mining colony on Proxima B. When we arrived, Mokhtar ships were already attacking." Junho took a deep breath. "We need proof. Solid proof that will stand in the tribunal." Taewoo smiled for the first time. "I think I have something. Look at these transmission records from the Mokhtar ships themselves." The screen showed 2 versions of the same message, with different timestamps. "They're showing the tribunal and edited version," Ta Wu said. "But I found the original buried deep in their data packets." Junho looked at the evidence, hope growing in his chest. Humanity might finally have a chance to be free again. "We need to move fast," Junho told his team. "The tribunal gives us only 10 more days." Minho Yang stepped out from the shadows of their meeting room. His dark uniform had no markings. Few people knew he was a human intelligence agent who had lived on Nexus Station for years. "I can get you into the sealed archives," Minho said, "but only for 2 hours tonight when the guards change." Junho nodded. "Jia-yun and Tai-Wu will go with you. Look for anything about the Mokhtar ships before the official first contact date." That night, as most of Nexus Station dimmed for the sleep cycle, 3 humans moved silently through service tunnels. "This way," Minho whispered, leading them to a plain wall. He pressed his hand against it in a pattern, and a hidden door opened. Inside, the archive room hummed with data storage units. Ta-Wu immediately connected his device to the main terminal. "Work fast," Minho said, watching the door. "We have 1 hour and 50 minutes left." Jia moved to a separate console. "I'm looking for medical records. Something doesn't make sense about the Mokhtar casualties." They worked in silence for an hour. Suddenly, Jia gasped. "Look at this," she called to Ta-Wu. "The Mokhtar who died. Their wounds don't match human weapons. Our lasers leave clean burns, but these records show explosive damage and chemical burns." Ta-Wu looked up from his screen. "And I found shipping records. 3 days after the human attack, Mokhtar mining ships landed on Proxima B. How did they prepare mining operations so quickly after a surprise war?" "We need to copy everything," Minho urged. 30 minutes left. The next morning, So Rekang joined their meeting. The human doctor had treated both species during the brief war. "These medical scans confirm what I saw back then," Sora said, reviewing Jia-yun's findings. "The Mokhtar injuries weren't from human weapons. I tried to report this 40 years ago, but no one would listen." Junho turned to Byung-chul Wang, the old diplomat who had just arrived. "You were at the first contact meeting. What do you remember?" Byung-chul's hands shook slightly as he spoke. "The Mokhtars seemed friendly at first, but they asked many questions about our mining technology. When we mentioned our new colonies, they became very interested in their locations." A chime sounded at the door. Minho checked a small device and frowned. "Someone is scanning our room." Junho quickly gathered the evidence into a secure case. "Byung-chul, you need to testify at the tribunal tomorrow. Your eyewitness account is crucial." The old diplomat nodded. "I will be there." But Byung-chul never made it to the tribunal. That night, his transport pod crashed between levels of Nexus Station. Station security called it an accident. As Junho prepared to enter the tribunal chamber the next day, a station worker passed him and slipped something into his hand. Inside was a data chip and a note. From Byung-chul. He knew they might come for him. Inside the chamber, Ambassador Idrisi floated forward before proceedings began. "Honorable Arbiter, I suggest we hear the human defense quickly and end this review. The evidence from 40 years ago is clear." Junho noticed something strange. The energy being seemed nervous, its usual smooth glow now flickering. "The ambassador seems eager to finish," Junho said to the chamber. Perhaps because new evidence might reveal uncomfortable truths. He activated a large display screen and inserted Byung-chul's chip. "I have discovered that several council species, including Ambassador Idrisi's, receive mining rights to former human colonies immediately after our containment." The chamber erupted in shouts and calls for order. Prosecutor Nelvak hissed loudly. "This is irrelevant. The humans attacked first." "Did we?" Junho asked calmly. He played the file from Byung-chul. Records showing Mokhtar ships had entered human space weeks before the supposed first contact. As the evidence appeared on the large screens, a new voice spoke from the back of the chamber. "We have watched long enough." All heads turned to see 3 tall, blue-skinned beings entering. The reclusive Ondar, a species known for their strict neutrality and advanced technology. "We have observed. We have recorded. We will testify to what truly happened," their leader announced. Junho felt hope rising. The truth was finally coming to light. The tribunal chamber was completely silent as the Ondar observer Xin stood in the center. The blue-skinned being's 4 eyes looked slowly around the room. For 40 years, we have watched. For 40 years, we have said nothing. Sin's voice was calm but carried to every corner. But we cannot allow this injustice to continue. A holographic display appeared above the chamber, showing space near a human colony world. The date stamp showed 3 weeks before the official first contact. These are our recordings, Sin continued, unaltered and verified by our time seal technology, which cannot be faked. Everyone watched as Mokhtar ships entered the system, their weapons already powered. They attacked the small human colony without warning or communication. Prosecutor Nelvak jumped up. These recordings could be falsified. The humans could have created them. Grand Arbiter Xolix's crystal form pulsed with light. The Ondar have no reason to lie. Their neutrality is the foundation of their society. Junho stepped forward. We have more evidence. He nodded to Yonggai Shin, who activated another display showing battle logs from human ships. Our vessels were in defensive positions when attacked, Yonggai explained. These logs show we responded to distress calls from our colonies. We did not strike first. Do-hyun Ryu, the former colony governor, stood up next. His voice shook with emotion. I watched my people die. Then, just days after the attack, Mokhtar mining ships landed on our world. They had mining plans already prepared for our exact planet. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Many representatives looked troubled now. Hajun Chung, the human diplomat, approached the center. Honored Arbiter, I have discovered something in your own ancient laws. The Kithnar judgment from 50,000 years ago states that evidence proven to be engineered nullifies all resulting sanctions. Grand Arbiter Xolix was silent for a long moment. Then the crystalline being expanded, filling the chamber with brilliant light. I invoked the Truth Communion, Xolix announced. The light touched everyone in the room. Junho felt a strange sensation, as if his thoughts were being gently examined. In the Truth Communion, no falsehoods can exist, Xolix explained. All will know what truly happened. The light grew brighter. Ambassador Idrisi's energy form flickered wildly. Prosecutor Nelvak hissed in pain. Several council members tried to leave but found themselves unable to move. When the light faded, Xolix spoke again, voice heavy. It is revealed. The Mokhtar created a false attack to gain control of human resource worlds. 6 council species knew of this plan and helped conceal the truth in exchange for mining rights. The chamber erupted in shocked voices. By the authority of the Galactic Tribunal, I declare the human containment null and void, Xolix announced. All sanctions against humanity are lifted immediately. Xolix turned to Junho. Further, as compensation, humanity is granted a permanent seat on the council and rights to reclaim all former colonies. The guilty parties will face their own tribunals. 1 month later, Junho stood at a viewport on Nexus Station, watching human ships freely coming and going for the first time in 40 years. Earth's blue-white flag now hung among those of other council species. Was it worth it? Jae-yun asked, joining him at the window. Junho nodded. Truth is always worth fighting for. Some wanted revenge. Dae-sung said, the old commander looking younger somehow. They wanted to punish those who wronged us. Justice is better than revenge, Junho replied. We've shown the galaxy that humans solve problems with evidence and law when possible, not just with weapons. A message alert sounded on his communicator. It was from Earth's government. Humanity's first official colony ships would launch tomorrow, returning to the stars that had been denied to them for so long. What will you do now? Tawu asked. Junho looked out at the vast starfield. Make sure this never happens again. Help write new laws that protect all species from false accusations. He smiled as a sleek human ship glided past the window, heading out to the stars. The truth set us free. Now we'll use that freedom well.